In the opulent mansion of the millionaire, the waitress gasped in disbelief as her childhood photograph adorned the wall, a haunting reminder of a past intertwined with the present. She was merely a waitress, lost in the rhythm of everyday life, until one fateful photograph transformed her world forever. Riley Bennett believed it would simply be another evening pouring champagne for the high society, at a grand estate that felt like a distant fantasy beyond her reach. Yet, as she strolled through the hushed corridor of the Hawthorne mansion, an unseen force halted her, leaving her breathless. A monochrome photograph, elegantly displayed on the wall, captured a young girl beaming with innocence and joy. It was pure, unsuspecting, yet Riley felt a sudden chill run through her. Her tray quivered delicately in her grasp. Her heart raced with an intensity that felt almost unbearable. For that innocent child was a reflection of her own soul. How could it be that her childhood photo graced the walls of a billionaire's mansion, a place she had never even entered? She arrived not in pursuit of clarity, yet, the instant her eyes fell upon that photograph, an undeniable truth washed over her. A hidden truth lingered in the shadows, waiting to be unveiled, a figure of immense strength. And if she yearned to reveal it, she would have to gamble everything she held dear. What Riley was on the brink of uncovering would fracture a cherished family legacy, unveil a perilous secret, and pave the way for a heart-wrenching reunion like no other. Prepare yourself for a journey that will take unexpected turns. Stay with us until the very end, for the final revelation will take your breath away. Riley had navigated countless events in the past, yet none stirred the heart quite like this one. The Hawthorne estate in Charleston, South Carolina, exuded an enchanting charm, reminiscent of a scene pulled straight from the silver screen. Towering white columns stood like sentinels, manicured hedges whispered secrets of love, and a marble driveway glimmered under the warm embrace of the golden hour light. As she emerged from the catering van, Riley adjusted the straps on her apron, her heart racing as she inhaled deeply, ready to face the unfolding moments ahead. "Just another shift," she murmured softly, concealing the tumult of emotions dancing in her stomach. At 23, Riley had already woven a tapestry of toil and perseverance into the fabric of their life. Raised by adoptive parents who faced constant challenges, she had been balancing 2 jobs since the tender age of 17, each day a testament to her resilience and determination. Tonight's event, a lavish gala orchestrated by the powerful Hawthorne family, was intended to be merely a means to an end. Yet, the instant she crossed the threshold of the estate's back entrance, an unsettling sensation enveloped her. Frederick, the formidable head butler, welcomed her with an icy precision that sent shivers down her spine. Silence envelops the room, a heavy air of unspoken words, as the guests remain distant, their gazes cast downward, lost in their own thoughts. "Fulfill your duties with passion, and you shall depart with the reward you deserve." With a gentle nod, she tightened her grip on the silver tray, her heart racing with unspoken emotions. As the sun sank low, casting a warm glow through the branches, the guests began to arrive, each one carrying the weight of unspoken stories and hidden emotions. Influential figures, adorned in exquisite designer gowns, navigate a world filled with ambition and desire. Crystal chandeliers shimmered above the ballroom, casting a celestial glow reminiscent of frozen stars, illuminating the air thick with unspoken emotions. A string quartet played softly in the corner, and the air was heavy with unspoken desires and hidden truths. Riley glided through the throng, a vision of grace as she presented flutes of champagne and delicate hors d'oeuvres, each gesture imbued with an unspoken longing. She struggled to concentrate, yet an unsettling feeling about the house tugged at her heart. A peculiar tension hung in the air, like a soft murmur just beyond reach. And then her gaze fell upon it. A slender passageway diverged from the grand hall, cloaked in shadows and steeped in an air of neglect. She felt the weight of her decision, a tempest of longing swirling within her, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that she was stepping into a world fraught with peril. The guidelines were unmistakable: remain within the designated zones of care. Yet the pull of her curiosity was more powerful than the whispers of logic. With a furtive glance to ensure the coast was clear, Riley glided down the dimly lit hallway, heart racing with anticipation. The lights were gentle, reminiscent of a bygone era, creating elongated shadows that danced upon the walls. Portraits of brooding men and graceful women adorned the hallway, each gaze steeped in untold stories and lingering emotions. Surely they belonged to the esteemed Hawthorne lineage. And then she paused, her heart caught in a moment suspended in time. Midway down the corridor, a solitary photo lingered in a slender black frame, whispering secrets of love and longing. A portrait of a young girl, her innocence captured in a fleeting moment, no older than 5. Her brown hair cascaded softly around her cheeks, and her eyes, deep and expressive, held a striking familiarity as they locked onto Riley's gaze. She stumbled back, her heart racing with a mix of fear and longing. It was she, the one who stirred his heart and ignited a flame within him. Riley gazed in astonishment, her heart racing with a whirlwind of emotions. It was undeniable. The gown, the enchanting smile, the delicate scar resting just above her brows, a remnant of her youth. This photograph, captured long before she found her forever home, reveals her innocence as a little girl. But how can this be possible? What brought it to this place? She stood at the threshold, a stranger to the very walls that held countless secrets, her heart racing with the weight of unspoken stories waiting to unfold. The echo of footsteps pulled her from her reverie, a reminder of the world that awaited her beyond the fragile veil of her thoughts. In a flurry of emotion, she raced back toward the ballroom, her heart racing with a tumultuous rhythm. She resumed serving drinks, yet the burden of the revelation lingered around her, an ever-present specter that darkened her heart. Her hands quivered with anticipation as she delicately arranged the flutes upon the tables. The laughter of the guests faded into the distance, overshadowed by the weight of unspoken emotions. Her thoughts lingered on the image, a haunting echo that stirred her heart with every recollection. Who could have left that photograph in the hallway, stirring memories of a time long past? And what did it signify? She yearned for the truth, but whom could she turn to without feeling utterly unhinged? Later that night, amidst the soft glow of the kitchen, Riley found a moment to engage in a hushed conversation with Martha, the estate's devoted cook of many years. "You've been here for quite some time, haven't you?" Riley inquired with a nonchalant air, her heart racing beneath the surface. With a knowing smile, Martha chuckled softly, her hands skillfully dicing carrots, each slice a whisper of untold stories hidden beneath the surface. "Have the Hawthorne family always called this place home? Oh, my love, this estate has been a cherished part of their lineage for countless generations." Charles Hawthorne found himself the reluctant heir to a legacy steeped in sorrow, following the tragic loss of his brother Andrew and sister-in-law in a devastating accident. A heart-wrenching tale. Riley stood still, heart racing. Did his brother really perish in such a tragic accident? Martha nodded, her heart heavy with unspoken words. A fateful collision, long ago. They whisper that it was merely a cruel twist of fate. But who can truly say? The heaviness in Riley's heart intensified. That night, within the confines of her modest apartment in Edgewood, she found herself restless, staring into the shadows from her bed. Her adoptive parents lay in peaceful slumber, blissfully ignorant of the tempest of emotions raging within her heart. Her thoughts swirled in a tempest of emotion. If the girl in the photo was truly her, then what fate had led to it being displayed in a house belonging to Charles Hawthorne? And if the man held any ties to her heart, why had no one ever whispered the truth into her ears? Rest eluded me, slipping through my fingers like a fleeting dream. As twilight descended, Riley found herself drawn back to the estate, cloaked in the pretense of yet another catering assignment. Yet, the essence of her desires was unmistakable. She was desperate to uncover that photograph once more. She lingered, her heart racing, until the vibrant laughter faded into a gentle hush. Then she quietly retreated down the enigmatic corridor. Yet this time, the wall stood bare, echoing the silence of unspoken words. The photograph had vanished, leaving behind a haunting emptiness that echoed with unspoken memories. What would you feel if you stumbled upon a childhood photo of yourself in the opulent halls of a stranger's mansion? Do you believe Charles Hawthorne truly understands the essence of Riley's being? Is it possible that Riley shares a bloodline with the formidable Hawthorne family? Share your thoughts and musings below. If you were Riley, would you dare to uncover the truth, or choose to turn away from the tangled emotions that lie beneath? Leave a yes in the comments if you would return for the truth. Riley lingered, heart racing, before the vacant wall, a canvas of unspoken emotions. The cherished black frame photo had vanished, leaving behind a lingering sense of loss. Disappeared into the ether, leaving only echoes of what once was. Her breath hitched, a moment suspended in time. She gently rubbed her eyes, caught in a whirlwind of doubt, questioning if it had all been a figment of her imagination. But alas, she recalled every exquisite detail of that image. The young girl beams at the camera, her joy radiating like a warm sunbeam, capturing a moment that feels both fleeting and eternal. It was she, the one who ignited a fire within his heart, stirring emotions he thought long buried. She felt it deep within her soul. What could possibly compel someone to take it away? Did they notice her gaze lingering on it? A haunting thought whispered through her heart. Someone had discovered her secret search, the tension thick in the air as unspoken truths lingered between them. With a heart heavy with unspoken fears, Riley steeled herself and made her way back to the kitchen, determined to complete her shift despite the turmoil swirling within her. Yet, with each delicate clink of silverware and every fleeting gaze that brushed against her, an unsettling tension hung in the air, as if danger lurked just beneath the surface. She departed from the Hawthorne estate that night, her mind swirling with uncertainty, and her heart racing with an unsettling foreboding. The following morning, she found herself at the breakfast table, the warm aroma of freshly brewed coffee filling the air as her adoptive mother, Gloria, lovingly poured her a cup. Riley gently stirred the mug, lost in thought as she gazed into the delicate dance of cream swirling within. "Mother, do you recall the place from which I emerged before our paths intertwined through adoption?" Gloria halted, her glass poised delicately between her fingers. "That's an unusual inquiry, my dear. What compels you to inquire?" I just feel like there's something missing," Riley said, her voice trembling with unspoken longing. "Last night I stumbled upon a photograph that mirrored my very essence. In a house that felt foreign, I found myself as a child, surrounded by echoes of a past I had yet to uncover." Gloria's hands quivered ever so gently as she placed the mug down, a silent storm brewing within her heart. "Riley, you know we were always left in the shadows of uncertainty. In a moment of serendipity, you were discovered in a shelter, a tender age of 5, where the world seemed both vast and uncertain. They whispered of your parents' tragic fate, lost in an accident, but offered no further details, leaving a haunting silence in their wake." Riley's heart sank into a chasm of despair. A tragic twist of fate? A tragic collision? Indeed, that seems to be what the social worker conveyed to us. Why must fate be so cruel? The serendipity of the moment was overwhelming. She could no longer turn a blind eye to the undeniable truth that lingered in the air. Later that week, Riley found herself drawn back to the estate, this time under the guise of another catering assignment. She felt an undeniable pull to return inside, driven by the desire to unveil the hidden truths that lay in wait. She felt a stirring within her, a longing that urged her to take the leap, even if the outcome was uncertain. As the guests swirled around in laughter and the orchestra filled the air with enchanting melodies, Riley drifted through the mansion, a shadow among the vibrant life, lost in a world of unspoken emotions. Every chandelier, every oil painting appeared to gaze upon her with an intensity that stirred the air around her. She lingered, her gaze sweeping over the staff with a mix of curiosity and longing. If someone had taken away the photo, it would reveal a hidden truth. Perhaps there were deeper secrets concealed within their hearts. In the dimly lit staff hallway, she stumbled upon Marcus, a steadfast presence among the security guards whose watchful eyes had seen countless stories unfold. He was a man of few words, yet his manners spoke volumes, hinting at a life rich with untold stories and hidden depths. She drew near during a moment of respite, the air thick with unspoken tension. "It seems you've been a part of this place for quite some time, haven't you?" she inquired, her voice laced with a delicate tension that hung in the air between them. At the tender age of 23, he responded with a low grunt, a distant echo of a time when Mr. Charles had yet to claim his legacy. Riley lingered, caught in a moment of uncertainty. "Do you recall the fate that befell his brother?" Marcus arched an eyebrow, his gaze intensifying with a mix of intrigue and tension. "Is that you, Andrew?" Indeed, both he and his beloved wife met a tragic fate in a devastating crash. They all whispered it was merely a twist of fate. "Did they welcome a daughter into their lives?" she whispered, her breath hitching in her throat. He averted his gaze for a fleeting moment, then drew closer, the tension thickening in the air. Whispers linger in the air, suggesting they welcomed a daughter into their lives, a precious little girl who vanished just as shadows began to fall. Whispers linger that she departed alongside them. Whispers linger in the air, suggesting she was swept away to a distant place. Riley's heart ached. It was her, the one who longed to cry out in the depths of her heart. Yet she kept it buried deep within her heart. "What lies hidden beneath the veil of silence?" she inquired, her voice laced with a hint of longing. Marcus's voice fell to a whisper. "In this place, curiosity seems to linger in the shadows, unspoken and unanswered." In the aftermath of the crash, Charles seized the reins, determined to shape the unfolding chaos into something he could command. Swift. It all happened too quickly. And when people began to uncover the truth, they either fell silent or retreated into the shadows almost immediately. That night, Riley's world spiraled into a whirlwind of emotions. What Marcus whispered lingered in her mind like a shadow, refusing to fade away. Why, if she was the daughter of Andrew Hawthorne, had her existence been so cruelly wiped from the tapestry of the family's legacy? Why had Charles not sought her out? Or had he truly? She yearned for something deeper. The following day, Riley set a meeting with a former staff member who once graced the estate with their presence. Eleanor, a devoted housekeeper known for her keen insight and unwavering loyalty to Andrew. Riley sought her out through a shared acquaintance, making his way to her quaint abode nestled just outside Charleston. Eleanor greeted her with a tender smile, yet her eyes held a hint of apprehension. "Is it you, Riley? I heard you've taken up your duties at the estate." "Indeed, my lady. I must speak with you about the tragic incident and a precious little girl who was caught in its wake." Eleanor's face drained of color. "Oh, my dear, does that house still whisper the secrets of its past?" "I believe I belong to that world," Riley whispered gently. Eleanor sank into her seat, her heart heavy with unspoken words. "Your memory lingers in my heart. You were just a child, innocent and full of wonder. Your mother affectionately named you Ray. You once twirled gracefully through the garden, adorned in a flowing yellow dress. Andrew was utterly captivated by you. So did Helena, her heart entwined in a tapestry of longing and unspoken words." Riley felt a constriction in her throat, as if the weight of unspoken emotions was pressing down on her. What transpired then? Why does it all feel like a distant dream, slipping through my fingers like sand? Eleanor gazed deeply into her eyes, a silent storm brewing between them. For it was Charles who ensured that you would never find out. A heavy stillness enveloped the room, laden with unspoken truths. After the crash, you vanished from my life, leaving an ache that lingers in the silence. The authorities claimed the girl had perished as well, yet your body remained elusive, lost to the shadows of despair. And then Charles, he stepped into the spotlight. The estate, the businesses, all of it. Whispers surrounded him, tales of secret transactions, and a past meticulously erased. Riley gazed at her own quivering hands, a storm of emotions swirling within her. Her childhood remained a cherished memory, a delicate thread woven into the fabric of her heart. It had been taken away, leaving a void that echoed with unspoken words and lingering glances. I stumbled upon a photograph of myself within the estate, only to have it vanish into thin air. Eleanor let out a soft, wistful sigh. In that moment, he understands everything. Charles possessed an all-seeing gaze, ever watchful and aware. Riley's thoughts whirled in a tempest of emotion. For all those years, she had carried the heavy burden of believing she was unloved, forsaken. But now, she realized that the truth had been hidden away, shrouded in shadows. With purpose, the next time she entered the estate, Riley shed the weight of servitude. Imagine, if you were Riley, stumbling upon your childhood photo in the opulent halls of a billionaire's mansion. Would you dare to confront the enigmatic man who might hold the key to your lost memories? Type yes in the no, if you would choose to slip away silently. Riley stepped back into the Hawthorne estate, her heart racing, driven by a singular purpose that resonated deeply within her soul. Seek the hidden, reveal the secrets, and confront Charles Hawthorne. Every room in that mansion now resonated with an eerie stillness, filled with unspoken truths and the heavy burden of her lost history. She had unearthed the truth that Charles had concealed all along, the revelation of the tragic accident that claimed her parents, the obliteration of her very essence, and possibly even hints about her mother's destiny. Yet Eleanor had bestowed upon her a final clue, the secluded sanctuary of Charles's private study. In that secret place, he stored all that was precious to him, including a concealed safe that held his deepest treasures. She lingered in anticipation, and at last, the moment she had longed for arrived 2 days later. Charles departed the grand mansion, whispers of his business trip swirling among the staff like a bittersweet melody. The estate lay in a hushed stillness, enveloped in an air of unspoken tension. Riley slipped into her catering uniform, a familiar routine, yet her heart was set on a different path that evening, one that did not involve serving cocktails. Instead, she quietly slipped away, her heart racing as she ascended to the 3rd floor, drawn irresistibly towards Charles's forbidden study. The door slowly creaked open, revealing a dance of dust particles suspended in the warm, golden sunlight that streamed through the tall windows, casting an enchanting glow over the room. The room was enveloped in the lingering scent of cigar smoke, mingling with the rich aroma of aged wood, creating an atmosphere thick with unspoken emotions. A grand mahogany desk dominated the room, its polished surface gleaming under the soft light, while bookshelves filled with stories lined the walls. In a shadowy corner, partially obscured by an elegant painting, Riley discovered it. The safe, a hidden secret waiting to be unveiled. With a swift motion, she cast the painting aside, uncovering a hidden digital lock that seemed to pulse with secrets waiting to be unveiled. Her fingers quivered with a mix of anticipation and longing. She recalled the words Marcus had whispered to her, lingering in her heart like a haunting melody. Charles carried the weight of that fateful day in his heart, the moment when his brother's laughter was silenced forever. With trembling fingers, she entered the numbers 04, 19, 5, her heart racing as memories flooded back. With a soft, lingering sound, the moment was captured. The lock gave way, a quiet promise of what was to come. The door creaked open, echoing a sense of foreboding in the stillness of the night. Within the confines lay a collection of documents, ledgers, flash drives, and an aged envelope, each holding secrets of the past, waiting to be unveiled. Riley hurriedly gathered her belongings, shoving them into her bag. But it was the sight of the envelope that caused her hands to tremble and her heart to race. It was penned in elegant script, a tender message meant for my beloved daughter, Ray. Her knees trembled beneath her weight. With tears glistening in her eyes, she delicately unfolded the envelope. Within the confines of the envelope lay a letter, its words poised to unveil secrets of the heart. My dearest Ray, if you find yourself reading these words, it signifies that the darkest hour has come upon us. Your father and I sensed the looming threat, and we fought with every ounce of our strength to shield you from harm. If fate should ever turn against us, I need you to promise me that you will find a way to thrive, to embrace life with all its beauty and challenges. Charles, your uncle, conceals a truth that could shatter the very fabric of our lives. He yearns for the legacy, the power, the identity. Beware of his charm, yet hold tightly to the essence of your soul. Ray Evelyn Hawthorne, a name that lingers in the air, filled with unspoken promises and the weight of untold stories. You are the light of our lives, the very essence of our hearts. My dearest mother. Riley crumbled, holding the letter tightly against her heart. Every moment felt achingly genuine. Her parents had dreaded this moment. Her uncle had seized everything, leaving her as if she had never graced the world with her presence. In an instant, the soft sound of footsteps resonated through the hallway, stirring a mix of anticipation and longing. With a heavy heart, she hastily shoved the documents into her bag and closed the safe. Yet she knew deep down that time had slipped through her fingers. The door creaked open, revealing a world filled with unspoken emotions and lingering glances. Charles stood there, his piercing gaze entwining with hers, a silent storm brewing between them. "Well," he said slowly, his voice carrying a weight that could cut through the silence. "I was curious when you would finally seek the truth." Riley stood tall, her heart racing, though her body trembled with unspoken emotions. "I am aware of all that transpires. I am aware of the actions you took against my parents, and I have come to understand my true self." Charles' laughter echoed, tinged with a bittersweet edge. "Do you truly believe that anyone would side with a girl from a shelter instead of me? In the tapestry of my life, you were the thread that unraveled everything, Ray. Much like your father, too tender to guide this family. I have proof," she declared, her voice trembling with intensity. "Whispers of secrets, the ink of fate, the unveiling of reality." As I prepared to confront the press, a shadow fell across his face, revealing the turmoil within. "Then you shall not leave this place." In that fleeting moment, Riley dashed away, heart racing with a whirlwind of emotions. She dashed down the hall, her heart racing as Charles's voice echoed behind her, calling for his security with a mix of desperation and urgency. Her heart raced as she dashed through the mansion's corridors, clutching the bag as if it held the very essence of her existence. For that very reason it did. With a heart racing and emotions swirling, she flung open the back door and dashed toward her car, urgency propelling her every step. Tires screeched as she drove off, her heart pounding with a mix of longing and despair. In the stillness of the evening, Charles lingered in the driveway, his heart heavy as he watched her walk away, each step echoing the unspoken words between them. Yet, in this moment, she held all the power. The following day, Riley found herself in the company of an investigative journalist, a seeker of truths who had long pursued the elusive shadows of the Hawthorne family. With trembling hands, she offered the documents, the letter, and the raw, unvarnished truth. In the span of just 48 hours, the world was set ablaze with headlines that captured hearts and stirred emotions. Whispers of intrigue swirl through the halls of the Hawthorne estate. A CEO finds themselves ensnared in a web of deceit, as whispers of inheritance fraud and a dark family secret threaten to unravel everything they hold dear. The media descended like a tempest, eager to capture every fleeting moment. Charles's empire started to unravel, each thread pulling away from the tapestry of his once mighty reign. In that moment, Riley experienced a liberation unlike any other, as if the weight of the world had finally lifted, allowing her to inhale deeply for the first time. Yet, the tale had only just begun to unfold. A week later, a gripping news segment revealed haunting footage of a woman being led away from a secluded psychiatric clinic just outside Nashville. She appeared delicate, her hair touched by silver, and her gaze lost in a world far away. Yet, Riley recognized that expression all too well. It was the woman who had given her life, the one whose presence lingered like a haunting melody in the depths of her heart. With her heart pounding and a sense of urgency coursing through her veins, she abandoned all else and hurried to the clinic. As she entered the room, her heart raced at the sight of the woman by the window, leaving Riley momentarily speechless. "Mother," she breathed softly. The woman turned, her eyes shimmering with surprise. "Ray!" Tears cascaded down their cheeks as they held each other tightly. Two hearts, once separated by the shadows of desire, find their way back to each other at last. The doctors revealed that her mother had been struck by a profound amnesia, born from the depths of trauma. Charles had concealed her from the world, weaving a tale of her demise. Yet, it was Riley's unwavering bravery that unveiled the hidden truths, igniting a tempest of emotions. With a heart heavy with the weight of betrayal, Riley took the stand, ready to unveil the truth against Charles. Her tale, intertwined with the evidence, ultimately sealed his fate, leading to his arrest and conviction. The Hawthorne name, once a beacon of opulence and admiration, now stood as a poignant reminder of treachery and the quest for retribution. Riley made the heart-wrenching decision to forgo reclaiming the estate or the fortune that once belonged to them. She yearned for something far more precious: serenity, honesty, and cherished moments with her mother. In a serene town nestled in Vermont, they embarked on a heartfelt journey, establishing a community center for orphans and displaced children, creating the sanctuary she had always longed for. Each dawn, as Riley gazed at the rising sun with her mother beside her, she softly murmured, "I'm finally free." What are your thoughts on the tale of Riley? Was the heart truly satisfied? If this tale stirred your heart or held you in suspense, please leave a comment with the number 100 below and share your reflections. We eagerly await your heartfelt response.